Rex the dog laundry vlog. Maybe do I need to? Oh my god. Hello everybody. Maybe that's a little bit. I got all this light behind me. Whatever, man. I'm gonna want to invest in maybe like a light that I can put here, so I get more heavily lit from the front, because these end up dark depending on the time of day, and also generally the lamp situation in my home at the moment and the light bulbs that have not been replaced and stuff is a little bit goofy. But anyway, welcome. It's me, Rex the dog, Rex Rebel Heart, Rex Hunting Dog. I'm sometimes referred to as. I'm here at the Rex the Dog laundry vlog, where we do some housekeeping physically, and we do some housekeeping in terms of talking about my life and talking about things that are going on here with the Rex Hunting Dog, Rex Rebel Heart YouTube channel and associated sort of community and cinematic universe. So, hello everybody. What's been up? I think I recorded a laundry vlog yesterday. I'm trying to remember, man. Like, it's sort of my timeline of events. I'm pretty sure that was recorded and posted yesterday. And we're back here today. So what's been going on since last time I talked to you? I'm feeling so much better now, like, because we're 4 days removed from the marathon now, and my legs are back in action. So today's Thursday. On Saturday, I'm gonna go for just like a really easy 8-kilometer run. It's part of my what is like a scheduled 3-week recovery plan in terms of my running. So I'm gonna do a on Saturday, so in 2 days time. So 6 days removed from the marathon, I'm going to do an 8-kilometer run, and we're just going to slowly, feel out things and get back into the routine. Running shorts. So we're gonna get back into a lot. Quite excited about that. I thought, like, oh my god, I'm not even going to want to think about running again after that, but I'm going to be honest. And this should have been predictable because of, like, sort of how I am and how I operate. And, I'm like, go, go, go. I'm ready to start running again. Obviously not those crazy distances or whatever, but I'm ready to get back at it again and start seeing the progress and, all those good things. So I'm looking forward to that on Saturday. We'll see how that goes. I'm back in the gym. So we're back in the gym. As I said, we're gonna, since we're not going so crazy in the prioritization of the fitness of the workout is the marathon, we can focus a bit more on lifting at the moment. So it's nice to kind of be back in there. Not that I was away from there, but to be kind of back in from there and not have this over-looming, the priority is the marathon, and obviously saving a lot of my my energy and whatever for the marathon training. So that's been cool. Today I've been watching a bunch of my anime, as I was talking about last time. So I've created like a my anime list profile. I'll see if I remember to drop that in the description, but I'm just called Rex Rebel Heart on my anime list as well, which is a website where you can just sort of keep track on the animes that you've been watching, and I love lists and all this sort of thing, man, You keep track of the anime that you're watching, and you give them ratings, and it has a recommendation engine, and you can have friends and see how much compatibility you have with your friends based on the animes you watched and what you each thought of them, and yada, yada, yada. So I'm on my anime list. I've always talked about my history with comic books and not with manga, so I'm not a big anime guy. And so there's a lot of ignorance when it comes to anime on my part. I caught up on One Piece, which is like, whoa, that's an ask. I rewatched Death Note because I did see that before and I liked it and I want to revisit it. And I forgot how much the second part is kind of ass, but whatever. I watched Death Note. I'm watching this Book of Friends thing at the moment. I've been watching Dadadan weekly on Thursdays. So we're in the world of anime. I watched One Punch Man. Okay, so if anyone wants to talk about anime and give me anime recommendations, either here or look me up on my anime list if you use it, look me up there, Rex Rebel Heart. Cool, because I know that some of you guys are like anime people out there. I know some of you aren't, and you're like me. So if you're an anime person, then I don't know, man. Let's talk. Give me recommendations. I'll probably start posting videos about animes that I check out and all that sort of thing. But yeah, and in terms of Western animation, I want to check out Arcane. I want to check out Arcane real soon, like the new season. Again, I'm not a League of Legends guy. Poop. I'm not a League of Legends guy, but I watched the first year of Arcane when it was on a couple of years ago, whatever, and I digged it. I dug it. Can you dig it? Yes, you can. So I would be interested. I'm interested in checking out the new run of Arcane because even just from like the animation on it's sick. You know, the animation from an animation standpoint is really cool. And I did actually quite like the story of the first year as well. Even though I know nothing about League of Legends, but I don't think League of Legends has a story. I think it's a game where you just like click on things, isn't it? And people shout nasty things at each other. That's what it's about, right? You just like click on points on a map and press hotkeys on the keyboard really fast, and then people say mean things to each other. I think that's what not Game of Thrones, League of Legends is about, and then they decided to adapt it into like an animated show about queer people on Netflix. Anyway, okay, so cool. That's like talking about anime and stuff. What's been going on in my life? We talked about the fitness. What else can we talk about? So I think I talked about this last week on some laundry vlogs. I've been doing some like government appointments and stuff like that for my status here in Spain, because of course I'm an immigrant who lives in Spain. So the one that I went on today took me to the police station. And I'm not going to sort of like paint a picture here that like I suffer from like discrimination or something like that, because I'm very much like a generic looking white dude, you know what I mean, from a pretty like, in terms of like the nationality that I have, of just being like British, that's like kind of comes with a like, a sense of privilege. We're sort of seen as like, like the good immigrants, like I don't really get mistreated at all. But, so I don't want to like sort of paint some sort of picture that I'm, suffering like injustices, which like other people like legitimately do like every single day of their life, because they're just sort of like existence, whether it's their like, the race, the religion, their, identity, like is seen as like a political statement to people, and they get given, some sort of unfair treatment. But I got some pretty crappy treatment today at the police station, if I'm being real. I don't want to badmouth Hispanita. I don't want to badmouth Spain, because like I love this place, and this place has been incredibly good to me. And if I want to talk about the government appointments that I had last week with just sort of your civil servants, your government staff, they were incredibly humorous, nice, helpful, going the extra mile of like, oh dude, we can help you with this as well if you want. Like really good, like really personable, and just like really pleasant and nice interactions. Not that at the police station today. Now I will go say not that with like the one person who attended me, okay? Because like the guy you had on the front desk was totally pleasant. The guy who was doing the security check and making sure I didn't have a gun, like he was really pleasant. But like the person who actually I got served in my appointment, I had like my ticket number, and the guy I had to deal with, he like immediately looked at my documents and said like, you shouldn't be here, and like clicked a button, so like my appointment was over and the next person was coming. I was like, dude, I was like, relax, man. I was like, I'm here under article whatever, blah 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 blah, like this is where I'm supposed to be, this is the appointment I'm supposed to make, all this sort of thing. And he was like, no, leave. And these appointments which are difficult to get, you know what I mean? Like the middle of the day, you have to like mess up your schedule, whatever. You have to go like the other side of town, it's like a whole thing. And then like you go on every day and you have to like see if you can get an appointment. Like you click on now and it's like no appointments available. And you have to just like try early every day to try and get one in 2 weeks in advance, you know what I mean? It's like, whatever. And he's like, no, you're not going to be here. And it's like, do you need to like call over like your superior? You need it because this is, And remember, I'm always dealing in a second language here, and that's not an excuse, because like I'm in this country, so it's like kind of like an expectation of everybody, fluently speaking my language, but I can't speak Spanish, but I am speaking in the second language, in quite like fast-paced, tense situations. Do you know what I mean? Where some like policemen are trying to remove you from a building. And I'm like, dude, you need to get your superior and whatever. Superior comes over. His superior is like, yeah, this guy's right. Like talking about me. He's like, this guy should be here. He is like everything he's saying, all his paperwork, everything is like totally correct. So then, you know, at this point, this guy who I'm dealing with, you know, since I've had to like get his boss to come correct him so he will do his job, it's just like antagonistic, you know what I mean? I'm trying to make jokes, you know what I mean? So he's like, oh yeah, so you're British, and I'm like, yeah, unfortunately, you know, like I love it here so much more. Everybody here is like, you know, like so good to me, and I just like, you know, I love like the Spanish people, the Spanish culture, you know, the land itself, you know. And, you know, which is this is not me trying to, like, please him or whatever, because these are my, you know, honest thoughts. Like, I love it here, man. And I love the people, and I love the culture, and I love the whatever. Right? But he's not having any of that. He's just still, like, you know, antagonistic towards me. And then he gets down to, he's like, so where do you live? And I'm like, this is where I live. And, like, here it is all in documentation. And he's like, oh, right, like, that's a really nice area. And he's like talking to his friend over there. And he's like, oh yeah, Javi. He's like the British get to come over here and like stay in our country and live in all the nice areas. You know what I mean? It's like, go screw yourself, man. You know what I mean? So like, it wasn't exactly pleasant, and the entire, you know, because it was very difficult to get this appointment and attend this appointment, and there is some sort of like levels of time sensitivity to it as well. You know, if this didn't work out, I'd have to get another one, and I don't know how soon I'd be able to get that, and I need it soon, and blah, blah, blah. So it wasn't really like, it wasn't a nice situation considering sort of like the position of power he had in me in multiple ways, because even if he wasn't a policeman and he was like a guy sitting there with a gun who could arrest me, like even this was just a regular government appointment, there's kind of a lot of power in play there because it's about my like status of existing as a person. So that situation, it just didn't really feel good from a perspective of it was like tense. And after a week of having quite a few sort of like tense situations from people in positions of power over me, it just like, it's just a bit draining. You know what I mean? Like physically drained from the marathon, a bit sort of mentally and emotionally drained from, you know, in the other situations, people are trying to like emotionally manipulate me or socially manipulate me. In the workplace, and then I have this when it comes to like my government appointments. It's just like, oh come on, man, this ain't cool. You know, this ain't cool. And you know, on reflection, it's like I don't deal with this stuff very often. I mean, I do occasionally have these kind of run-ins with the police because like I'm a punk rock kid going around my skateboard, and you know, piercings and whatever weird hairstyle I have at the time, and you know what I mean. So I do like, I get kind of those moments, those interactions with like the police every so often, but like in the grand scheme of things, it's kind of nothing, you know what I mean? And in the grand scheme of things, this was just like one interaction today, an appointment that lasted 20 minutes, but it was making my heart, you know, go up because I need to get this done, and I didn't want a policeman to just decide like, you know, you're being aggressive or whatever, and I'm getting kicked out. So like that wasn't totally fun, but it did more so make me reflect on like, you know, I was in the, you know, the immigrants, like the foreigners section of this police station, and you know, I was like the only white dude there. Do you know what I mean? Like I was the only white dude there. Like everybody else was like, it was people either from, you know, different places in Africa, like Morocco, or people from different Latin American countries and stuff like that. You know, like Venezuelans and Colombians and stuff like that. And I know that like, you know, that like, you know, interaction there I had of just like, oh yeah, look what the British guy comes and does, is like an absolute sort of like drop in the pan compared to the some of the, you know, interactions that these guys deal with every single day, and the problems that are kind of put in front of them, and also like even when I am in situations like I'm quite a confident person, and I'm always like sort of ready to, you know, like I know my rights and I know these things and blah 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 blah, so I can kind of stand up for myself, and not everybody can do that, and there's either because of a lack of the knowledge of that stuff, or also just like a complete lack of confidence, which is like totally valid as well. You know what I mean? Like not everybody is like, you know, the person who's standing up at the fighter and whatever. Like people, you know, people can get sort of intimidated to feel silenced or whatever in situations and it's totally like understandable that that happens. So yeah, no, it just kind of made me reflect on those sorts of things. Or like, okay, I dealt with an annoying thing for like 20 minutes. It got me real stressed. But there's people dealing with these things on much you know, grander and long lasting ways that are happening consistently, and they don't have that kind of that confidence to mitigate the effects of some of them, or you know, there's some problems that aren't problems, and they don't feel they can say like, hey man, stop that or whatever. So I don't know, just maybe kind of think about that. It's a bit of a bummer, you know, but it's not like obviously like stopped my day or anything like that. But yeah, it just kind of got me reflecting on things, and I think it's just kind of been one of those weeks, to be honest, so far. But if I'm getting a bunch of crappy things happening, I prefer them all just to happen in 1 week. You know what I mean? And you have that like that bad week, and then we get back to those stretches of just like everything kind of going swimmingly, which is kind of how I feel things go. I do feel that like I get kind of those moments of stress and those things piling up, happening at once, and then I kind of get myself to the other side of them, and that's all cool. So you know. I always know it's all going to be cool in the end. That's something I do kind of always know it's going to be cool in the end. And yeah, I don't know, just a little story time, a little reflection on that as I was putting on the laundry. And yeah, I hope as I said, there's like I'm not a minority. I'm just like white dude. Okay, especially when I had my hair short, right? Do you remember like you know in like late 2000s Xbox 360 games? Yeah, where it's like you think of games like Infamous, you think of like Call of Duty Modern Warfare, you think of games like, I don't know, Prototype, you think of games like Star Wars Force Unleashed, you think of games like GTA at the time, and like your main character in like all these sorts of games, and like kind of like a bunch of movies as well, is just like white dude with like normal proportioned face and like short hair. It's like just like absolute like default protagonist, you know what I mean, like is not gonna get any sort of like real problems. If anything, has a bunch of autonomy because they're the freaking protagonist. Like when I got my hair short, I just look like that. Do you know what I mean? Just like generic white protagonist. So it's like, you know, like I'm not facing any sort of hardships or whatever, man. You know, I'm really not when you put things into perspective. But it does make me kind of reflect on, again, as I'm saying, those people who do, because of like their identity, their sexuality, how they look, how they present themselves, whether it's a self-expression of how they present themselves, or it's just like how they present themselves, and that's it's like a political statement by people. I don't know, man. It's just what's on the mind right now, just what I'm talking about right now, and that's what the laundry vlogs are all about. I'll catch you guys all really soon. I'm gonna try and remember right now to put my anime list in the description, along with all those other links. So if you want to go there, even if just to lurk and stalk at what anime I'm watching, you could do that. And if you're a member, then you can like send me a friend request, and when I notice the notification, I'll be like, oh cool, it's that dude from YouTube, and now we're like my anime list friends. Peace out, everybody. Bye bye. Bye 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 bye.